Watch the 6 of hearts. I can show you front and back, and with just a flip, it changes into the Queen of Diamonds. How's it going, guys? Hope you're doing good and welcome back to yet another tutorial video. And today I'm going to teach you the automatic changing playing card. And when I say automatic, I really mean it, because the gimmick does 100% of the work for you, no sleight of hand whatsoever. It is super easy to make and ridiculously easy to perform. And the best part is, there are no traditional flap cards used in this, no ugly creases across the halfway point of the card. This is a sleek and visual gimmick. But not only is it really good for social media magic, it actually looks really good in person and has some brilliant practical uses. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to make the gimmick as well as how to perform this trick. So grab yourself 2 playing cards and let's learn the automatic changing card. Alright, let's construct some gimmicks. In order to make the automatic changing card, you're going to need 2 playing cards. I'm just using ordinary bicycle cards. Any design will work for this. And you're also going to want a needle, just like so, and some elastic thread. Now this is hyper elastic thread, which is perfect for making gimmicks, and I'm going to leave a link in the description to where you can get this exact type of thread. You're also going to want a pair of scissors. I will come to that later. And I've chosen a court card as one of the playing cards. This is completely optional. I just find it helpful for making these gimmicks, but you can use any 2 cards. What I'm going to do is start with the court card. The reason I've chosen it is because it has this frame around the design, and we're going to tackle one corner of that frame and poke the needle through just like so. Then downwards, lengthways, we're going to poke another hole in that opposite corner just like this. So we've got a hole here and a hole here. Line up both of the cards you're going to use, take that needle once again, and this time poke through the same hole, but go through both cards just like this. So I'm making a hole in both cards in the exact same position. Just like so. Once that's done, you can now take your elastic thread. This is by far the most frustrating part of the trick. But there we go. Once that's done, you're going to thread the cards together, and you're going to do it in a very specific way. You're going to go through both of the holes here and then both of the holes here. So from one side to another. So I go through here, pull it all the way through, and then I go down, back to the side I started on. Snap the elastic off and make sure to leave lots of excess, because you're now going to tie a knot. And actually, when I was threading the needle, I think I was wrong. I think this is probably the most annoying part. Tying the thread is always a nightmare. Pull nice and tight. You want that knot flush against the cards. And now you can dangle the excess. Take your scissors and chop away at the excess thread. So what we now have is this. A gimmick made of 2 cards that naturally want to square up next to each other. You'll notice I can spread them out, but they always want to ping back together so that they're perfectly squared up. And this is kind of a bonus trick that you can have actually, where it looks like you've got 2 cards. You can spread them out and show 2 cards, and then when you drop them, it turns magically into 1 card. A little extra trick, but we're going to use these in a bit of an unconventional way to create the automatic changing card. Just before I start to practice and perform with this gimmick, I'm going to warm up the elastic ever so slightly. So I'm going to take the 2 cards separately and just stretch them a little bit, just add a little bit more stretch into it. Not too much, but I don't want the elastic to snap, so that's a really good thing. Just in general, when you've made gimmicks, is just to make sure the elastic, when it comes from the factory, it's very taut and very tight and sort of brittle almost. It's easy to snap, so warm it up a little bit, and once you've done that, it is time to execute the change. And here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take this top card, like so, and you can see the elastic on this side, and I'm going to fold it all the way around, 180 degrees to the back of the 2 cards. So now the 9 of clubs is in front. And what you'll notice if you do this, if you follow along at home, you will notice that these cards want to do this. This back card wants to swing round and become the front card because of the elastic. I'll show you again. With just a bit of movement, it wants to swing round. And essentially, that is the mechanics of the change. It is super simple to execute this change. All you do is you take that front card, fold it round to the back, and holding it at this angle means that I can actually hold the card like so. Now what's going on here is this card is just freely hanging, And when I drop this card, I'm going to allow this back one to swing in front. What can really help this is a higher camera angle, a higher angle down onto the cards to sort of shield this, this back one. If you watch back the intro, you'll notice that's exactly what I've done. But for explanation purposes, I will leave it at this angle so you can see the exposed view. When I drop the card, boom, the Jack of Hearts swings on top and changes just like so. And there's a couple of other ways of doing this that are even more practical and less angle sensitive. I'll show you another variation where, once again, we set up, the front card becomes the back one, and I'm almost gonna do a charlier cut, a one-handed cut. So if I take a deck of cards, I can show you a charlier cut. Looks a little bit like this, right? One-handed cut, that's what it looks like. And we're gonna do a very similar thing with the gimmick. We're going to allow that back card to drop into the hand. From the side, you can see the Jack of Hearts just like so. From the front, you cannot see anything. And all I'm going to do is throw this card up so that this rotates around, and I'm going to catch it just like this. This takes a little bit of practice, might take a couple of takes, but it's perfect for the camera. You 3, 2, 1, throw that card, and it sort of does a little somersault and turns into a completely different card. I absolutely love this visual. Now, the variations I've just shown you all require catching ability, right? They all require you to catch the card. And being realistic, in an actual performance situation, you might drop the card. And so here is a variation that does not require any catching ability. What you're going to do is throw the card on the floor. Rather than rely on throwing it from one hand to another or dropping it or anything like that, you are simply going to toss the card into the air and the change will happen. So once again, we set ourselves up so that the 9 of clubs is at the front. And what I'm now going to do is force the Jack of Hearts from another deck of cards. I pull out my prediction, and it's wrong. It's not the Jack of Hearts, it's the 9 of clubs. And I go, oh, sorry, that's completely rubbish. And I throw the card over my shoulder, just completely disregarding it as if it's an obvious mistake, and I just chuck it over my shoulder. And then I say, wait, are you sure that wasn't your card? And they go, yeah, it wasn't the 9 of clubs. And I go, no, but it's the Jack of Hearts. And when I point to the floor, they look down and it's the Jack of Hearts. They can see their card on the floor. The very card you just threw over your shoulder has somehow changed. So there we have it. That is the automatic changing card, one of the most delicious visuals that just requires no effort whatsoever. If you enjoyed this tutorial and you want to see more like it in the future, make sure to click the thumbs up button down below, and most importantly, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future tutorials. I teach magic, talk about it, react to it, do all things magic. So if you like magic, or you're a magician, or you want to be a magician, make sure to subscribe and join the growing channel as we head towards my goal of 20k by the end of the year. Fingers crossed we can make that happen. And if you enjoyed this and you want to learn even more magic, some of my most powerful material, then I have a membership for magicians that is literally just $5 a month. And for $5, you get access to currently 91 magic products, 91 exclusive tutorials you can't find anywhere else. There are masterclasses, lectures, some of them more than an hour long, loads of amazing magic on there, and it's all $5 a month. And at the end of this year, that will be changing. All of that magic, the first 100 items, will be moving to the $15 tier, so if you want to get 91 magic tutorials, all for $5 or £4, then now is the time to strike. Make sure to hit the link in the description or go to themagician.club and sign up today so you don't miss my best deal in magic. Possibly the best deal in magic, although I'm biased, so I can't say that. But yeah, that's the Magician Club, so make sure to go and check that out. Thanks again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.